married in the northeast.
Correct.
And then reception in the west, the reception in the north, and then took a 2-day break on New Year's to go to Kerala. So we covered all corners. And I was just joking with her. I said, we're living Savarkarji's vision in this Akhand Bharat. People told me not to get into it. The people who are calling it a propaganda, then what would you call the film on my Nehruji?
So meeting a married Randeep Hooda now, how does it feel? Yes.
Ready?
So, no.
Okay. All right.
How does it feel to be married now?
How well, I haven't really had time to, because I'm working round the clock promoting the movie and doing post and dealing with all the issues that a producer has to deal with, a director has to deal with, and an actor has to deal with.
Yeah.
So I am still at it. Have had no free time really since then, though it does make you feel settled, and our marriage itself turned out to be Akhand Bharat Brahman.
Yes.
Yeah, we got married in the northeast, and then reception in the west, the reception in the north, and then took a 2-day break on New Year's to go to Kerala. So we covered all corners. And I was just joking with her. I said, we're living Savarkarji's vision in this Akhand Bharat.
Right. To get such a tale, in today's day and time, how difficult was it for you to get the authenticity? Because it's a kind of a periodic film, and to set up a film like this in today's time, I'm sure it must be challenging for you.
Yes, of course. History is a very tricky subject. It depends on who's telling it. And there has been a certain political washover of the history after independence, because there was a certain kind of people who there was a great historian called Majumdarji who started writing the history, and he was given the job to do it, and it's very good.
Right.
And then, but it was not liked by the government of the time, so they changed him and got their own people to write it, and that kind of glorified just one party and just a handful of people who got us the independence, and so many others were just as if they did not exist, and as if whatever they did was of no worth. Some people's sacrifice was so glorified but wasn't a sacrifice. Some people's sacrifice was so made to disappear from history that it is so unjust and unfair. So when I came to this, I did first of all, people told me not to get into it because they felt that since you're an artist and truly an artist, so don't get into this because it'll make you political, it'll make you a polarizing kind of a feeling, and people are going to name you that you're from a certain party, or you're a Sanghi and this and that, and which I'm sure I don't look at it much, but I am getting. But then when I read that when I saw that it was so disproportionate, proportionately written, and so much injustice has happened with especially Mr. Savarkar, that it egged me on more to go after it with all my vigor. And I then read widely and many languages, and I got the history right. And then, of course, I'm making a movie. I have to put I have 53 years of lifetime in my movie. I have to put it in 2.5 hours. So I took 2 hours 50 minutes, but it was a very challenging thing. And all of a sudden, then I want to ask those people who were my well-wishers, and seeing the reaction to the trailer itself, which is 3 minutes, wait till you watch the movie, that, what if I was making a movie on Nehruji?
Correct,
An artist, I would have done it with as much sincerity.
Right, it has nothing to do with your political ideologies.
But then what would you call this film? The people who are calling it a propaganda, then what would you call the film on my Nehruji? So it is just a coincidence that this is coming at this time, and I think it's an anti-propaganda film, because the propaganda that is being spread on Vinayak Damodar Savarkar's name is just unjustified, untrue, and unacceptable.
Right. Correct.
Right? Yeah. So keeping all these things in mind,
quite a task.
But people are going to throw bricks at you anyway.
Right, and you have always been thrown at.
Yeah, once I decided that that I was going to do this movie, then whatever it takes.
Correct. Also, Randeep, everybody knows, the entire industry knows, your fans, you have a loyal fan base, and you're such a giving actor. You give so much to your characters, but to don a hat of director, besides being an actor in it, how challenging was it for you? I'm sure riding on two boats at the same time.
As an actor, I have never gone and watched the monitor to assess my performance and all that. And usually I know before the director says okay that it's okay. No. So that part of it was sorted. Though, because I was doing so many things, for me to sit in the makeup chair and do all that was just, I could not take it. Because I had this one to do, that one to do. And being a director, I had never directed before, really. But it was not that I was not involved with the directors that I have always worked with. In fact, I've done all my conversations before the movie shooting begins, and post that while shooting. It was never. I've never had a lengthy discussion with the director ever, hardly ever.
All right.
So I knew how it works, and I'm a photographer as well.
Yes, I'm aware.
So I knew the photography. So every time I came to a new aspect of filmmaking, I was very clear that I said, I've never done it before. Can you, what do you think? What do you think? I'll call up some director friends of mine, or I'll think, what was this movie like? What is this? What should the treatment be? So I went by my instinct. And I was very sure that I am going to make a movie about the armed revolution for the young people.
Yeah, that's what my next question is, how the relevance resonated with the kind of subject you have chosen.
Yeah, because, the Gen Z, or so to speak, they are not interested in the independence struggle and all anymore. It's all about reels and this and that. So how, and that, the, whatever that call it, that culture.
Scrolling,
So I wanted to make a kind of give it a treatment and a screenplay which is very taut and doesn't give you time to kind of wander off onto your phone. So I was very clear about that, and the elements, other elements of sound and all that I've used are for the thing, because a lot of older people still know about Mr. Savarkar. The younger people only hear clickbait, social media, misinformation that is given to them. So I really wanted to reach them, and I want to have students wear Mr. Savarkar's T-shirts in college, like they wear Che Guevara or Bhagat Singh.
Right. Was it a game plan earlier also to direct a film? Like you always wanted to be a director?
I thought when I'll be too young to play the son and too young to play the father and too old to play the son, I will start getting into direction. But and anyway, if I had chosen first on my own, I would have not chosen such a big film. I would have chosen a smaller film and tried my hand at that, and then gone on to a bigger one. But it was not in my hands really to make a choice. I had already made a choice when they cast me as an actor, and I started losing weight. I had given, and I had also had the experience of Saragadi, where for 3 years I grew a beard, and that movie did not fructify.
Correct.
I said, not this time. So I did whatever I could to make sure that this movie comes out to people like it is now, and I'm very grateful to God and the kind of guidance I think I've been getting from the man himself.
Right. Lastly, very curious to know, now this is a mammoth project. Now, besides this, now here on, what kind of subject you want to direct on a lighter note?
I want to direct more human subjects and not take such a big responsibility of every line and every date and every time.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah. So, first of all, I don't want to direct for a while.
Okay.
I want to act in movies, because it has taken a life. 2 years I've not done any acting job, nothing, and I've been totally consumed by this in pre-production, the struggle of making it, movie being shelved, and then remaking it and putting my money in it and getting it out there, and through the whole post-production process. It has been very taxing for me. So I just want to go like a Jamai Raja. On a set, साहब आ गए, साहब set में, साहब bathroom में, साहब अभी phone पे बात कर रहे हैं.
You've earned it.
Yes. So I want to be just an actor, and not be a director for a while and just do some acting jobs. And,
Correct.
And then I am in the process of, I've got germinated ideas about 3-4 things that I find interesting today. But that's a process which will take its due course of time.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Lovely.
Thank you.